right, everybody, it is 9 a.m. We're going to get started. Today's workshop is from Heather Taylor, our Glitter Girl media guru. This is going to be on social media. Heather, would you like to get started? I need to drink a little more coffee this morning. My goodness, I'm
That would
so
be
sorry.
great. Yeah, let me screen share and get the slideshow going, and we'll get going. There we go. Sorry about that. So yes, this is Social Media 101, social media marketing for beginners. And first, I want to thank Laura and SCORE for always having me speak to subjects that I'm super passionate about. I love social media and all of the wonderful benefits that it offers small business owners. You guys, I've been a small business owner just like you, and I know how difficult it is. And I know that social media is probably one more thing that you have to add to the 752 things you need to do for your business. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how you do it. If I didn't do this for a living, I don't know how I would fit it in. So kudos to you for taking the time to hop on to learn more and at least get a really nice overview of why social media for your and the different platforms. And this is really, really that broad picture kind of overview about all of the different social media platforms. We do these webinars monthly. They're on the website as local webinars. And I will, when we get to the end of the presentation, we'll talk about the presentation for next month, which is Facebook, and when you can hop on for that. We do one for Facebook, one for Instagram, one for LinkedIn, one for Google, and it's just a more in-depth look at each platform. And then we do one on how to create your social media strategy for your small business. So this is part of a series. You can hop on one, you can hop on, whichever ones you like, you can be on all of them. And thank you to SCORE for providing all of this programming to all of we business owners absolutely free. So let's kind of dig in here. So this is a truth. This is a great quote, Eric Qualman, which is, we don't have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. So for our businesses right now, this is part of the cost of being a business owner, a business professional in 2024. It's not whether you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Or you can actually have people outside of your business do it for you, meaning you can have clients that suggest that, there be a LinkedIn page for you, whatever that looks like. So it's going to be out there. I want to just help you guys take best advantage of these marketing platforms. Laura is always nice enough to help me watch the chat in case there are any questions that come in during the presentation. And please feel free to ask away. This is interactive. I am happy to stop and answer any questions. You don't have to save them for the end. Chances are if we don't have a pen and paper, we're probably going to forget by the end. So please feel free to jump in the chat, ask any questions that you have as we go along, okay? I don't know if Laura told you, but they always do provide a copy of the presentation later on. And I know that, Laura, are you guys providing the recording now or no?
We are providing the recording. I attach it in the email with the presentation, and then it'll be available on the website as well.
Perfect. So if you're better cognitively listening, or if you're better, visually, either way, SCORE's got you covered. So thank you for that. Okay, so when we get started presentation, I like to set everyone's expectations the right way, right? We all have different ideas on what social media is and what it can do for us. And let me say, before we really dive in, I don't talk a lot about paid social media because free is my favorite price. I like organic social media, and it definitely scores better than paid in many instances. So everything that we talk about today will be things that you can do on your account absolutely free. There's no fee for it. Secondly, I will also say that social media, by definition, is nothing except a bunch of arrows pointing to your website. So I, work with a lot of clients who say, well, I'd like to do social media, but my website's not where I want it, whatever that case may be. Step one is get your website worked on. Get that, fine-tuned, get it where you want to be so that people, once they see your post, if they do convert and they want to click through and go to your website, they're seeing a product that you are proud of. that highlights your products and services and that sets you apart from your competition, right? So all these platforms, you know, they're great and they're wonderful for what you use them for, but just remember, all of your competitors are on there as well, right? If you're on Facebook, you know the person that does, a similar service to you is also there because, it's 2024 and that's, how the game's played. But just remember, if you can get them to your website, none of your competitors are there. So if your prospective clients are on your website and they're ready to make a buying decision, guess who they're buying from? So all of these things are just arrows that we're putting in place to get people to where they can be converted into, hopefully, a really good client or customer for you. So let's talk about some social media myths, and we'll talk about what social media is not. Just told you,
Heather.
right?
Oh, you cut out for a second. Well, like 10 seconds. Are you there? Hold on, everybody. Heather, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear me yet?
No, now you're back.
Okay. So
You're
I just
cutting
got a
out.
notification that said that my internet is unstable, which is
Ugh,
unusual. So just a heads up. Michelle, you can hear?
well, maybe mine's
Perfect.
well,
No, I got the notification on my screen. So if you guys can't hear, just pop something in the chat. I'll pause. I apologize. I don't know if there's something going on outside or if it's just the lovely, way that tech runs. It's all wonderful when it runs like it should be.
it
Um,
happens.
yeah, it does. So please hang in there. I'm here. I will if you guys can't hear me, let somebody know and I will pause and we'll make sure that we can move forward. So, okay, perfect, D. I appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, so social media can be cost-free, but guess what? You're either going to spend time or you're going to spend money on your social media marketing, right? We can do it for free, but that means we have to do it ourselves. And that's another task that we need to perform as business owner, business professional, whatever that looks like. So while it can be absolutely no fee in money, you will spend that in time. So just want to set that expectation the right way. The next thing that this is a big myth, right? Young people make better social media marketers. Geez, I hope not, or I'm going to be out of business, right? Yes, some people are on social media, not all. I will tell you, I promise you, I'm a better social media marketer than my son is, and he is 25. It's not his thing. And by the way, he's not been trained to do social media. So a big caveat that I give folks is it's very tempting to just turn the keys of your business over to an intern and say, you do all the social media marketing because you're young and you should know how. I promise you that's not the case. Do not ever just give free reign to an intern over your social media platforms. And I'm going to give you two reasons why. First, interns are there to learn about your business from you. They are not there to be the face of your business, right? We're helping them and coaching them up to being a business professional at the level they would like to be. So while it's tempting to just say, oh, this is a task I can offload, I promise you, the marketing for your business is not where you want to just offload and not be active. Secondly, I have worked with a client over 30,000 followers on a Facebook account. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would be thrilled with 30,000 followers on a Facebook account, right? That intern changed the password, locked him out, and he no longer had access to that page. Facebook doesn't want to hear any boo-hooing, and he never was able to regain that page. So just so you know, you have to be careful who you designate administrators on any of your platforms, and you always want to make sure that you remain in the driver's seat. On your Google page, you will always be the primary owner. There would never be a reason you would need to transfer that to someone else, right? Anyone on there can be an owner. You would be the primary. You want to make sure that you keep control of all of those platforms. Next, content should always highlight products and services. I promise you this is not the case. And if you guys are social media users, meaning you read other people's posts, you know how irritating it can be when you always see buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. And I promise you, every one of the people who gets flagged that way and you look at them like, gosh, if I see another post from them asking for business, I'm going to flip out. I promise you, they really think that they are offering all kind of value by putting this out there. Value is decided by the end user, not the beginning user. And I will tell you, that's why a whole lot of clients tend to use someone who is outside of the business to do their social media posting. It's very difficult to write content as an owner that does not skew from the owner's point of view, right? When I write content for a client, I write it from the end user's perspective. As owners, we want to write from, oh, I need to tell them, right? That's our perspective. They need to know. The end user, the reader's perspective is, what do I need to hear? Right? It's not what you want to say. It's what I need to hear to make a decision. So just remember, always highlighting products and services is clearly not the way to go. Even if you have very fun and interactive content that's always a commercial, absolutely not. We want to be offering value. We want to be a resource for our readers. So there should be content in there that is not asking for a sale or highlighting your products and services. It should be just value driven, right? And last, social media gives people a venue to bash my company. Now, the answer is, of course, you can have someone who is let's say, a disgruntled, I will say, client or ex-employee. That happens quite a bit. And yes, they can absolutely jump on your social media and flame you, right? It happens rarely, right? This is not something that happens every day. By the way, if it's something that's happening every day, we have a bigger problem. I promise you, social media is not your problem at that point. Something is wrong with corporate culture at that point. If people are constantly lambasting you about, how you're doing business, or they don't like this, that, or the other, it is not a problem with your social media. Social media is a great platform for people to praise your products and services and to offer testimonials and to tag their friends they think would be interested in buying from you. So don't forget, you can get very wrapped up in, I need to protect against. I promise you, if somebody has enough of a problem with you, they will create a page that is the I hate fill in the blank page, right? So they're going to have the platform anyway. Let's give people an opportunity to learn more about us in a very positive light, share our strengths, and hopefully convert to clients. So we're going to go over the social media platforms very quickly, and then we'll get into each one a little more in depth. I'm going to offer you some demographics, which I always say is decidedly the least sexy part of the presentation, but it has the most meat around the bone, right? If you're fledgling stage with your social media, you need to decide which platforms you're going to start with, what you're going to grow into, and what makes sense based on your business vertical, what kind of business that you have. So Facebook is still Goliath, right? It is the most populated social media platform other than Google, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. People always forget to include their Google business profile as part of their social media, but we all know someone or a business that is marketing on Facebook, right? This is one of my friends, Jody with Power Max. Lovely Facebook page. Glad to see her there, right? Instagram is the exact opposite of Facebook in how they market, right? We all know that Mark Zuckerberg owns both. So Facebook leads with copy and supports with a photo. Instagram leads with the photo and supports with copy, but by and large, it's the same content, right? So just a heads up on Instagram. I will tell you the demographic skews much younger on Instagram than Facebook. For example, I am on both, but my mother is only on Facebook. She's 68. So Instagram isn't even a platform that she uses. So if you're looking at capturing that 60 to 80 demographic, 80-year-old, Instagram is probably not going to be where you're going to want to start. It's a great add-on, especially if you're looking at targeting some of their younger family, but Facebook has still got the lion's share of the folks in that particular age group. Is Facebook in a suit, right? It is the professional social media platform and thereby the absolute most trusted when it comes to content. People who are on here are generally business professionals, and they see this as a platform specifically for them, right? So here's a company page. It's a women's program that's here in the area, and they are on LinkedIn. They're looking for business professionals to be a part of their organization. So this is the perfect platform for them. X, I will tell you, isn't used a whole lot in my field for marketing, unless you are an educator, someone that's in the news media quite a bit, or you are an elected official. This is still their chosen platform for news. For me, I am on Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it this week, because people looking for a social media are looking to see what platforms we are on. So I do put content on there, but if I were not in this field, I wouldn't even have a business profile. I promise you. I have friends who do. Anne is an awesome stylist with Jay Hilburn. She does a great job on X, and it works for her. So again, we're going to have to do A/B testing to see which platforms work for us. But I just wanted to throw it out there because it is one that is prevalent. Pinterest. I don't know if there's anybody else on the webinar who has lost hours and hours to Pinterest, but it is an all-encompassing. You can pretty much find anything you're looking for on Pinterest. This is one of my friends who has a vinyl and engraving shop, does a lot of designs on here. So for her, Pinterest works, especially since a lot of her market share comes from like sports moms and moms in general. I will tell you, we'll get into the demographics here in a little bit, but 8 out of 10 moms are on Pinterest. So if that is, a focus group that you're looking at trying to get in front of, Pinterest would be an awesome platform for you. YouTube. Now, YouTube is fantastic, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit as well. It is the second most visited website in the entire world, right? So what's the first? First is Google. Google owns YouTube, so they have a market on the 2 most populated websites in the entire world. So do we think we have presence on at least one and probably both? Probably. And this is one of my friends, Tracy, who has an awesome selection of videos on YouTube. So just to give you a highlight there, she's got 26 videos on YouTube, and it works great for her. Google Business Profile. I promise you, this is my absolute favorite. I love LinkedIn like nobody else, but Google is where it happens, right? If people don't know where to look for something, where do they start? Many times, a lot of times it's asking for referrals. Hey, who knows A? That's a great way as well. But your Google Business Profile lets people know where you are. It's a legitimizing tool because it has to be a verified platform. And it tells them you can put as much info in here as it will let you fill out. I always do. I will tell you, for my business, any new leads that are not from referrals are just about 75% driven from my Google Business Profile. The other-ish percent would be from LinkedIn, but that's because I'm in a B2B field. If you're in a business to business organization, you definitely need to be on LinkedIn. If you have any business at all, you should be on Google. So just a heads up there. So you can see there are different, this is where your reviews show up. You can put your products and services on there depending on your business vertical. You now, within the last month, are able to actually input in type your social platforms. It used to be that Google had to go out and find those organically and add them to your profile. They have since changed that, and heads up to my friend Barry on let me know when that happened, so we can actually go in and make sure that our social platforms are on our profile as well. And you can actually add content to your Google Business Profile, just like you can on Facebook, just like you can on LinkedIn. And actually, it'll be more prevalent to do content that's more like LinkedIn, where it's just, professional, right? We're not going to do those fun, hey, what kind of potato are you content here on our Google page, because that doesn't make sense. But these, informational posts are great. You can add events on here. You can add photos to your profile. And the beautiful thing is it's absolutely free. Okay, so here's what I warned you about. We're just going to buzz through these quick. You will have a copy of this in 2 ways. So I'm not going to read everything to you. I'm just going to grab highlights from some of the demographics on the social media platforms. Facebook, the most widely used other than Google. I always give that caveat. 2.6 billion monthly users. That's a whole lot of people. And I know that in that demographic is some of our target market, right? Absolutely makes sense. I can't think of a case where it would not be beneficial for a business to have a page on Facebook. 74% of Facebook users visit the site every day. Every day. So you get an opportunity to get in front of those prospective clients every single day. That's a huge number. And there are currently more than 80 million small businesses using Facebook pages. That's awesome. And again, the price is right. We're not talking about Facebook ads necessarily. We're talking about your Facebook page. Definitely skews more female, but not by a lot, right? 75% of women and 63% of men use it. And some people like this demographic because it matters to them. From an income perspective, 74% making $75,000 annually or more are on Facebook. So don't think, oh, I'm really trying to reach that, upper echelon of income. Facebook may not be for me. It absolutely is. Don't discredit that. Because guess what? Those people have families, right? They want to see the kids, the grandkids, all that kind of thing. So don't overlook Facebook because it's Goliath, right? There's a reason that it is as big as it is. Instagram, 1 billion monthly users. Now that's, 3% almost of what we were talking about on Facebook, but 1 billion, nothing to sneeze at, right? 71% of the businesses in the United States use Instagram for marketing, and there's a reason. I love this demographic from a seller perspective. 80% of its users decide to buy a product or service by looking on Instagram. That's conversion, right? We definitely want to be where people are making that buying decision. Again, a little bit more female. The age demographic you can see skews a little bit younger, with the largest age group being from 18 to 30. That's actually expanding a bit, and it's going a little bit older, but just know this is going to be a slightly younger crowd than Facebook. And here, 42% of the people who are on here are making $75,000 annually. And why the difference? Younger, right? They're just getting established, or they haven't even started their careers yet. So just a heads up. LinkedIn, 810 million monthly users. Still not a bad number, right? 58 million companies are on LinkedIn. A whole lot of them use the platform for hiring, but it's also a great way to push the message out about your business. It's a fantastic opportunity if you have employees. They can just, share your information on LinkedIn, and it is a great source of content for them if you're putting it out there. And this is my favorite demographic. 93% of business marketers use LinkedIn for organic social marketing. 93% of those who are in a business to business organization use this platform. So you definitely want to be part of that majority. Again, more female, a slightly older demographic, although millennials and Gen Z are definitely hopping onto LinkedIn, and you can see the annual income level here. X, 340. So we're getting lower and lower. The preferred social network for news consumption. So if you are somebody who is in the news, I have a client who is often in the news. If CNN is calling someone about school shootings, they call this person. He absolutely needs to have a presence on X, right? So just a heads up there. Most Twitter users are outside the United States. So just bear that in mind as well. So out of that 340 million, that's not 340 million in the United States. So just a caveat there. See, 24%, 21% of women are on the platform. That's not a whole lot. And I'm thinking those numbers are actually going down. 18 to 30 again on X. And I think that's probably skewing older as well. And the income level there. Pinterest, the third largest social media network in the United States. And I think it's one that is vastly overlooked. And 431 million users worldwide. Obviously, that's more than X. 89% of US pinners use Pinterest on their path to purchase. Almost 90% of the people who are on there are actually looking for a product or a service to purchase. That's a huge number. 8 out of 10 moms are on Pinterest. We talked about that. 18 to 49, women just flock to this platform. So if they are your demographic, you need to be there. And there's the income level again. YouTube is the second most visited website in the world. We said Google was number one. 2 billion monthly users on YouTube. I know that is a demographic that my son has hopped on since he was 10. He used to watch PewDiePie. It's a gentleman who is an influencer who plays video games. And so a whole lot of our youth has grown up with YouTube and therefore use it quite a bit. 500 videos are uploaded every minute. That's amazing. Skews more male. This is the one that's definitely more male. And I know my son falls into that category. 78% of men versus 68% of women. Neither one a bad number. And again, 15 to 35 are the largest age demographic groups. 50.9 of business to business decision makers use YouTube to research a purchase. What did we do before YouTube? How did we find out? How do we fix our broken, DVD player? I'm on YouTube all the time, usually when I don't want to be because I have to fix something. But what did we do before we had this outlet? Here it is. I'm going to preach it again. Your Google business profile could actually be considered more important than your website. Because where do people go? If they are not typing in your URL specifically, how do they find you? They're probably going to Google. Google has like 92% market on search. Yes, there's Bing, and of course it pops up for all of us that have Windows unless we change it. But by and large, people do not say that they're going to Bing something. Bing isn't a verb like Google is. It really is. Hold on just 1 minute. I'm going to take a sip here real quick. One in two people who conduct local searches visit a store that day. Immediate, right? They are looking up something to go and buy. It's fabulous. And this is my favorite. 84% of Google searches are discovery searches. So when we're looking for a particular business, if I want to look up Wendy's, I would type in the word Wendy's to find them, right? But if I'm looking for hamburgers near me, that is a discovery search. I don't know which place I want to go, but that's going to help me find it. So Wendy's, if I put that in, is considered a direct search. If I put in hamburger near me, that is a discovery search. And that's what we want to be a part of, right? That's why we worry about Google ranking and SEO and all of that fun stuff, because it's important. I get this question a lot. I had to figure out how to explain this to my mother, and this is what I came up with. So people want to know, what is a hashtag? Hashtags connect social media content to a specific topic, event, theme, or conversation. It is basically a file folder for all things with the same hashtag included in it, right? So if I look up hashtag Glitter Girl Media, if I look it up on Instagram, you will find all of the content that has that particular hashtag in it filed in one place. So I can scroll through there and see as many posts as there are with that particular hashtag, right? But let's pick a bigger one. How about the hashtag social media? If I search that on Instagram, and mind you, this has been a little while, 36 million plus posts are in that file. You can have one post in a file, but just know that hashtag puts it all together. There are different reasons, though, to use hashtags. It's great to have, these all in one place, but what does that actually do for us as a business owner? So why do we use hashtags? We're going to increase engagement. If I am a business in Cleveland, hashtag Cleveland. That doesn't speak directly to my brand or my company, but it gets me in front of all of the people who are searching that hashtag, right? I want to be in that mix, so I will use that particular hashtag. It's going to help me gain followers, right? If they happen to come across me and they actually like the content I'm putting out, hopefully they will follow me on whatever platform they found me on, right? You can use hashtags on LinkedIn as well. You can use them on Facebook. They are not indexed there, and there's no need to use them on Google because they are not indexed there as well. Show support for social issues. Remember a few years back where hashtag Me Too was a huge hashtag because everybody had a story that they wanted to share. They wanted to show their support for the movement. It was a great way to show their support and solidarity for a social issue. Add context to a post. And if you guys have been on any of my other workshops or webinars, you know that I always use this example. Was walking through my house on a Monday, like you do, shuffling along. I tripped over something, which was probably nothing. Honestly, it was just Monday. And I spilled my coffee on the floor. And I thought, oh, goody. So I took a picture of the mess. I put it up on my Facebook and said, hashtag bad hair day. Everybody knows what that saying means. Everybody knows that wasn't actually a bad hair day. It was just adding context to the post to say, it's Monday, I messed up, spilled my coffee, here we are again. Hashtag bad hair day. So it can add just a ha funny, and nobody is actually searching for that particular hashtag, I promise you. And help a target audience find you. If I am looking to market specifically to people who dig Hallmark movies, and I'm just throwing that out there because I am a huge fan. If I hashtag Hallmark or hashtag Hallmark movies, and I have a product that is something that those people would like, I'm getting in front of a target audience searching for that hashtag, right? It's a fabulous thing. I will tell you, years back, just as a private user, I used to have a little t-shirt making business, and I made a Hallmark shirt that said, all I want to do is drink coffee, bake cookies, and watch the Hallmark Channel. And I put it out there and said, hey, I'm ready for the holidays. That post got shared, not liked, shared 75,000 times. So it can happen. Not what I intended. My phone was blowing up with people who wanted to buy it. I was not looking to sell it, but I will tell you, it got me right in front of the target audience that I had if I wanted to sell it. So you're on the platforms, you're trying to decide, you're trying to find your way. How do you decide what you should post, right? That's the big question. What do people want to read? Sales and discounts are not the way of it anymore. That used to be the big deal. I'm going to wait for the special section to come out. I'm going to wait for sale papers to come out for Black Friday, right? Do you know how few people do that anymore? It's scary. You go to buy that paper and it's like, the barren wasteland. There's just nothing there because it's all about getting information and engagement on social. And it should be a conversation, right? So, when it comes to content, we're going to talk about the 4 C's. Creativity. You need to be creative. Your stuff should not look like anyone else's stuff. So if you're looking, competitors, and I say competitors, people that have businesses where if they're not spending their dollar with you, they're going to spend it somewhere else, right? So I say competitor in a friendly, not a mean way, but you should be doing research on those people to find out what looks good, what works for them. But don't make your feed exactly like anyone else's, right? You need to have your own flavor, your own style, so that your followers stay loyal and keep coming back to your platforms, right? Connection, all about connections. It truly is not only about who you know, but who knows you. So you want to make that connection with your followers as well. I love nothing more than when I'm scrolling through my feed and I see a post that I love and I know who it is before I even look to the left to see who had posted it. That's somebody or a business who's made a connection with me, right? I love it. Content. We have to have good content. The saying is, oh, shoot, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll come back to that. Content is huge, right? Not only is it driving our SEO, and mind you, your posts are driving your SEO just like your website does. It's all about having good content. Do not just post to post. Don't post unless you have something, helpful to say, that you're being a resource for your following. There needs to be some reason other than, oh my gosh, it's Tuesday, I need to put up something. And I know that can happen to a lot of us. So please, just be aware of that. Anonymous, I will address that here in a little bit. Do you have any tips for extreme introverts with no social media accounts or experience? So you're here, that's positive, right? I know lots of introverts who prefer to use social as opposed to in-person networking. So I would say figure out one platform, right? Don't go and sign and start posting, right? Pick one platform that you think you can get comfortable on and master that one. It's easier than trying to keep 4, 5, 6 plates spinning. I know for Glitter Girl, I'm on 8 different platforms, but I started with one and worked my way up. I just happened to start back in 2008. So I would say stay out there, even though you're an introvert, if you have a business, you need to stay in front of that prospective client. So pick one platform that you feel like is best for your demographic and learn inside and out. Also, you can take courses definitely on SCORE. There's always something to find on SCORE. So make sure you're going to akron.score.org and check out all of their presentations that, again, are the right price, right? Free does not mean no value when it comes to SCORE. I promise you, the folks that are doing their content are fabulous. If you do not already have a mentor through SCORE, please make sure you take a look at that as those people will help lead you to outlets and help you get better about networking. So just a heads up there. I hope I answered the question for you. And our last C is conversations. People forget this is called social media, right? It isn't just us getting to vomit information on those that we think can do business with us. It's all about having a conversation with our followers. Ask questions, ask for input. It's a lovely way to figure out what kinds of content you should be posting anyway. What better source than having a conversation with the people who already dig you, right? They're more apt to interact. They're more apt to like, share, comment. And as soon as they do that, you get to be in front of their entire network. And it really is a numbers game. The more people with eyes on your brand, the more opportunities you're going to have for conversion, right? You're so welcome. Okay. Video. I can't stress this enough. And I know people, and I know that introvert, I could feel your eyes rolling or your chest tightening up. Video is imperative to be part of your social media marketing strategy. Look at that number. Social media posts that include video have 48% more views than those that don't. 48%. That's a huge number. I want to get in front of as many eyeballs as I can. Video is a great way to do that. All that said, you do not have to be in the video. It is, you're absolutely right, Michelle, your virtual village. These are your stormtroopers, right? These are the people with boots on the ground that are helping you spread your word. Video is a great way to have people interact with your brand. Lots more people check out video than not. So here's my caveat for that. No one is going to sit on Facebook and watch a 20-minute video. I don't care how interesting your product or service is. It's not built for that, right? People scroll. Keep your video media to a minute or less. Shoot for a minute or less. If we're talking Google, you have 30 seconds or less, or the video won't even show up in your feed. Short bursts of video, something that catches an eye. And as we were talking about, it doesn't have to be you on video. You can make video using a tool that we're going to show you here in a little bit that I love, with a great big red heart. And if they're ever giving out tattoos, I'm getting one. So we will talk about a tool where you can make video and you don't have to be. I put out a lot of content for Glitter Girl Media. I will tell you, I don't even think there's a video that exists of me talking on video, because my comfort zone, even though I'm an extrovert, is behind the scenes, right? I work for other people. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I would rather let the facts and figures and fun stuff and the social posts stand for themselves, right? I'm not looking to get my face on camera. So you can have video and not be the one that's speaking, or at least on video, if that is something that is keeping you from doing it, right? It absolutely should not keep you from doing it.
Heather, we have a raised hand.
Okay.
If you want to pause for a second. Charmaine,
For
go
sure.
ahead. I'm going to unmute you, Charmaine. Oh, go ahead, Charmaine. All right. Well, we'll get back to her.
You might have stepped away for a minute. Maybe she was
Yeah.
on too long. Heather kept rambling. So yeah, Charmaine, if you jump back in, just let us know.
Let us know.
Hey,
Hello?
hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry. Okay. I wanted to ask you, so if you're saying that you can still do like a video to pretty much, I need to be able to get a little bit more in depth. So are you saying that you can still do a video, but you don't have to have a face in the video?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I will implore you, if you've not, and this is not a self-promotion thing. If you look on Facebook at Glitter Girl Media, you'll see I have tons of video and I'm not in them. So if you need an example, just go there and look. I'm going to show you a tool where you can actually, by just uploading pictures, that can be like in a carousel. So you don't have to be on video. I hope I answered the question. Laura, were you having trouble hearing?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I got it, but yes, you can absolutely create video that you don't need to be in. Because I know a lot of people, like I love my mother to death. She's super creative, but she would freak if she had to be on video and put it out on social media. It's just not for her. It's not for everyone to be the person speaking in the video. And that's okay. We have options for that. So please do not discount video as a platform for you only because you're afraid of being on camera. I'm not a fan myself. So, you know, if you have questions about that, you're going to get my information here at the end. You can always reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But yes, you have alternatives to actually having your face as part of your social media marketing. Now, if you're a model, something tells me you're going to want your face on your marketing. So also don't be afraid to put yourself out there. What I will say is, and this is a caveat that I give everyone, if your face is on every post on your profile, I need you to ask yourself why. If your face is not the product, some people, and I'm not, pointing fingers or poking fingers in eyes, just like to see themselves online. Doesn't mean it helps their brand. So if I were to put my face online, there would be a legitimate reason to do that, right? Be a legitimizing tool, and that's great, but people can be extremely heavy-handed with that as well. And I know we've all seen them. And yes, Michelle, always using copyright-free content. And I'm going to show you the tool that you can use to make these. Absolutely is copyright-free, and it's awesome. So we're going to get there. Okay, so socially conscious marketing is a big deal right now. People want to know where a company, and if you are comfortable sharing that, sometimes it's something very innocuous, like recycling. No one is against recycling, right? That is not a divisive, socially conscious marketing pitch, right? Everybody wants to, have a beautiful planet. That is not divisive. Other platforms can absolutely be divisive. Doesn't mean it has to be. It can be done well and in a classy, non-confrontational way. Doesn't need to be a fight. You can stand for, people's rights without, being nasty and accusing. You can support the police without being nasty and, doing harm to your brand. And, these are examples, right? Akron Pride, fantastic. Just showed pictures of the day. Everything is very peaceful. They've used their hashtags. Love it, right? This is an opportunity to let people know where you stand. Share, pin, retweet, and regram other people's content, right? You don't have to always be the one creating the wheel. You can share other people's content. Just be aware. Don't share anything that you have not clicked through and went and looked at. I actually had a client of mine, before they were a client, reach out to me freaking out because they had shared a link and didn't realize it was a pro-marijuana tweet, and that does not fit their corporate model. So, well, we need to get in there and take that down, and hopefully it didn't do too much damage. But the reason she didn't understand exactly what the copy was, she only read a couple of headlines and then shared it. No, you have to click all the way through. I have had people, not clients, thankfully, because PR nightmare, put up graphics that they didn't actually check the website that was buried on, that little tiny website that you can see, or that sometimes they just do an @ and it's something that was actually to an adult site, if you know what I mean. And clearly not what they intended. They just didn't really look and pay attention and make sure that, anything that is on a graphic that is a link to something, make sure you've looked at it and that you are okay being associated with the content therein, okay? Going live can be awesome when it's appropriate. I will tell you, and I'm not going to mention the company's name, that is a direct sales company, actually challenged their, I'm going to call them, not sure what the actual word was, to go live 30 days in a row. Now, I don't know about you guys, I do not find myself that interesting that I have something that I need to mention from my business that I need to go live every day for 30 days. Can I come up with that many facts? Sure. Do I think that my readership and my followers would support that? I'm going to say, God love them. No, they don't need to hear from me every day live. When it's appropriate, when it's a special thing and it needs to stand out, it's an awesome free opportunity, right? I'll give you an example. So in the women's group, we actually were giving away a book. We had people write in, they had to comment, something to be in the running. And we did a live video selection of, who was going to win the book. We had all kind of people tuning in and a lot of people that were congratulating the winner. It was an awesome to get in front of our prospective members, our current clients, all that kind of stuff. And it was very simple. It literally took us 5 minutes. So it was a great way. But I'll tell you, we've only done it once or twice over a year. It's not all the time. I'm actually getting ready to do one tomorrow. So it is something that you use sparingly, not something that you do 30 days in a row. So just be cognizant of that and make smart decisions about when you should go live. Nostalgic post. You guys have seen them all, right? We know who this is. We know that this kid loves life and we love the California raisins. And so many things are nostalgic that are coming back, right? I'm going to give you an example. For one of my clients, we did a whole campaign around, Cobra Kai coming back. That was huge for a while. I don't know about you guys, but I binge watched it. So we did a whole strategy for them about that. And it got great interaction because logo and knew it. So pop quiz, this is all over the radio, all over the TV, and I don't know if you guys can name what product does this commercial highlight. I can almost sing the jingle. It is for oh goodness, it flew right out of my head. Does somebody know? Pop it in the chat. It's a smell
Backstreet
good
Boys.
thing. What was that?
Was it Gain, maybe? It was Tide or Gain,
Hold
I
on.
thought. Backstreet
Hold on.
Boys.
It'll hit me. That's terrible. It was in my head when I ran through the presentation today, but I can almost sing the song, but not the name. It's
Well,
Downy
you are.
Rinse and Refresh.
Oh,
Downy
is it
Rinse and
Downy?
Refresh. Okay, so I had to sing the song in my head, but that tells you they got every dollar's worth out of that advertising campaign, right? Because I could sing it in my head once I, sat down and I do want it that way, Michelle. Absolutely do. Tell me why. So I thought this was great. It's definitely a throwback, maybe not as far as I go, but I was definitely Team Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. So to me, this resonated. You can, kind of infuse that in your brand if it's appropriate. Brand building content. So I can only use me as an example. Clearly with the name Glitter Girl, you're going to find lots of things that are glittery on my feed. I will tell you, Charmaine, this is a video that I did that just had fireworks in the background. So that's an example of a video that I put out there with sound, with movement that didn't have any picture of any person in it, let alone me. But glitter is part of my branding, right? Anyone who follows me for any amount of time will know that I am a huge music fan, a big concert goer, and Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters are absolutely my favorite band. I actually have them tattooed on my thigh. Huge music fan, and they play a part in my social media. Does it have anything to do with the service or product I offer? Nope. But I get a lot of feedback on it because there's a whole lot of Foo Fighters fans out there. And guess what I hashtag when I use it? So just a heads up there. And then, of course, social media tips, right? If you're looking for social media tips, I'm a good resource for that. And none of these three things ask for business, right? I'm giving away information. I'm actually costing myself business by giving away social media tips. That's okay with me because guess what? Not everyone is my client, and that's okay. I couldn't handle that many clients. I'm looking for the right clients. So while you're on your way and learning, I love to give tips. Give tips if you can to help people get better in the field that you're involved in. Let them know you're a resource. If they want to know something, let them come to your brand and look, right? That's all part of your brand building content. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of here. So here are some examples. So this is my friend Donna's Instagram feed. Donna is a travel agent with a company called Dreammaker Destinations. She has a gazillion pictures like this in her feed, and I always want to know where is she at now. I will tell you, she's taking these photos while she's there. Great, great gig if you can get it right. Now, me, I'm afraid to fly, so it really wouldn't work for me, but I love seeing where she's at. I always pay attention to whatever the location is, right? My friend Shauna has a embroidery business. She does a lot of work in embroidery. She does laser engraving and things like that. But part of her brand is Kiss is her absolute favorite brand. So when I see Kiss, I automatically think of Shauna, which, you know, the next step is think, oh yeah, I need to get a new shirt embroidered. But that's part of her branding is Kiss. I think of nobody else. This is my friend Bernadette. Bernadette is a consultant with paparazzi accessories. So this girl always has on the best outfit with jewelry to match. And I know if I'm looking at her feed, I'm going to see some sparkly jewelry that I will probably need, but that's part of her branding. And last, people who do fun memes, and I mean in a classy way for business, it can be fun, right? So from a social media professional, I thought this was on someone else's feed. How about going as the person you pretend to be on Facebook? To me, that resonated because, well, you know, social media nerd and all. A great way to come up with fun content that doesn't have to be buy from me is to spotlight other organizations, business partners that you work with. If you have strategic partners that can work with your clients without costing you business, that's a great thing. I have lots of folks that I work with. So I don't do websites, right? I'm in social media specifically. I don't do websites, but guess what? A lot of my clients need websites. So it totally makes sense for me to highlight those great web masters and, website designers that I partner with. Nonprofit organizations. If I'm, volunteering with someone, absolutely I'm going to share their mission and their vision and great things that they have going on and upcoming events and all that kind of good stuff. And that's great content for me that I didn't even have to really create. I just kind of took their info and put it out for the world. And it helps them too. It's fabulous. It's a win-win. Local small businesses that you use. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I know that this is kind of far reaching, but there's a place in Copley called Cardinal Cakes and Coffee. Fabulous stuff. They have great baked goods. Their coffee is fantastic. I love giving them a shout out when I go in there. So if you have other small companies that you can shine the spotlight on, it's great content for you. It helps the so you get to be a hero. And guess what? If it's a great business and I go in there and I have a wonderful experience, guess who I'm going to remember? I'm going to remember you because you're the one that shared that information with me and it was fantastic. So I love giving a shout out to my friend Max at Max Air Comfort. Max was part of my 10,000 small businesses cohort through Goldman Sachs program. If you're not familiar with that program, it's great. But I'm going to tell you what, I was having a heating issue one morning and my friend Max was going to drop everything to come over and make sure we had heat. I loved nothing more than giving him a shout out, highlighting his business and telling people to do business with him. I also love One of a Kind Pet Rescue here in Akron. They do fantastic work, and I actually got my cat Miko from One of a Kind. So whenever they are in need, I will put out a wish list. I will help them share their messaging because, but for them, I wouldn't have my four-legged family member. So I'm happy to let people know about One of a Kind, all of the opportunities that you have for either adopting an animal, getting, they do spay and neutering, all that kind of thing. So I love highlighting them. Now, once you have all these things in your mind, the next question obviously is, how do I get all this done? How am I supposed to fit this in? Well, you're not going to post every day, right? There's no way you're going to remember to post every day. I don't know that most of you should be posting every day, but if you can sit down and create a calendar and schedule all at once for the month, that is awesome. Here are some scheduling platforms that you can use to get this accomplished. Some of them are free, some of them are not. Some of them have guidelines that you can only do so many posts so far out, that kind of thing. So you just need to find out which one is the one that works for you. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups. But yeah, just check out and see if any of these work for you. It is so much easier if you're going to be posting on 3 platforms to post to all of them at once and get everything. I promise you it will save you huge amounts of time. Here's the tool, you all. I know if you're not familiar with Canva, get familiar with Canva. You're going to need to create graphics for your social posts. Pictures are fine, but sometimes you need some verbiage on them, or sometimes you want to make a flyer, or sometimes you need specifically sized graphics for your Facebook page header, or your cover art, or your avatar, whatever it is. Canva is free. It will not have all the bells and whistles, right? You can use it. There's only certain templates you can use, only certain pictures you can use. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no happier day in my life than every year when I pay my $119 to get Canva Pro for the year. It is worth every dime. And I am not telling you this because I get kickbacks from Canva. I absolutely don't. But I will tell you, I'm closing in on having designed 6,000 different projects in Canva. That is how often I use it. I would plunk that amount down every month. Let's not tell them. I'm not saying I want to, I'm saying I would, to make sure that I have Canva. If Pro, you get every bell and whistle, every tool, every picture, every template, and it is so worth it. I can't tell you. I know Michelle had mentioned copyright free. Everything on this website is copyright free. You don't have to worry about right-clicking on something online, using it, and then getting in trouble. When you use music, if you're going to put it on a video on here, you already have the rights to it as a member. Here is the one caveat I will give you for Canva. It's the only thing that I want people to be aware of. Should you create your logo in Canva, be aware that Canva owns that logo. So I would tell you that is the only thing that I would not use Canva to create. Create it outside of Canva and import it, right? It's absolutely fine to do that. I don't want anyone owning my branding but me. So that, just remember that. If you remember two things that I told you, do not have an intern do all of your social media. Number two, do not create your logo in Canva. Those are your two things for sure. Oh, and three, make sure you have a Google business profile. So there's the top three. Should you have teams, multiple people who will be creating for your business? Pro is $300 for up to 5 people to use. It's fabulous. Looks like Charmaine may have raised her hand again, Laura.
Okay. Go ahead, Charmaine. Charmaine, do you have a question?
All right, we're getting close to time, so I'm going to keep going. But Charmaine, if you want, you can type it in the chat. Here's great news. If you work for a nonprofit organization, Canva Pro is absolutely free. There is only one form that you need to fill out, and it's very simple to complete. So it is an awesome opportunity. Here are the different templates you can use. I'm not exaggerating when I say there are literally thousands of templates you can use. Instagram posts, everything social, I make 1080 by 1080 because that will fit platform. And I'm not going to redo sizing for everything because I don't have that kind of time. And I'm betting that a lot of people don't. So anything that you want to find is here. Laura, can you still hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, I just saw the unstable pop up. I just wanted to make sure. And that was it. Look, we got done before 10. I'm obviously going to take questions. If you have any, feel free. Do not call me. I will promise it's not because I don't love you. I rarely pick up my phone because I'm rarely in a spot where I can. You are free to text me, email me. If you want to schedule virtual coffee, you can. But yeah, I would love to entertain any questions that you have.
Melanie asks, what if I imported a drawn logo to Canva and added content to finalize my logo there? They still own it?
I think that yes, you would still own that because it's something recorded.
All right. And Michelle, great question. Do you use AI?
Okay, so yes, I do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. There is an awesome graphics tool on Canva that is AI based. Many times, if I can't find just the right graphic, I will create it. Here's my caveat for AI. I love it for what it's intended for. You have to watch. There is never going to be a time where you'll be able to use AI and not check and recheck and make sure that that's there. And I'm going to give you an example. I was doing a presentation. I do Canva training so that people learn how to use all the tools and make this, that, and the other thing. And I said, we're going to use this tool, but you got to make sure that when you create a graphic, that you always take a second look at it to make sure it's appropriate. So we made a graphic of, I put in children eating fruits and vegetables. You have to have at least 5 words to create a Canva in the AI platform. And I created it and we got to talking. And one of my workshop attendees looked up and said, hey, is that kid supposed to have 3 arms? No, but AI gave him an extra one. So definitely not a graphic you want to put out there for the world. Also, if I'm working with a client, let's say I have, I'm trying to think of someone that I've used it for. Let's say I have an attorney and I keep using the same term over and over. When I create content, I'm doing 12 to 20 posts at one time. If I feel like, oh my goodness, I have used that term several times, I will have it rewritten by AI to see what comes out, just to see if it's appropriate. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But I do use AI, but very sparingly and with large oversight from the human perspective. It's never just copy paste. It's always, I use it to help and then I augment. So I hope that answers the question.
Heather, can I add something to that? I do some social
Yes.
media and for a foundation in the area and help with that. And some of the people used AI. And I want to just say that when you're using AI to write the post out, be careful that it doesn't take away from your tone. You know, we all have different personalities, and sometimes the AI makes you sound not like yourself. So if you have part of your brand is to kind of be a little more playful and stuff, I feel like AI takes away that and it sounds different than who you are.
I've had people say, I use AI, but it sounds like a ticker tape, production. So you have to put the human back in it. If it's out and it's completely antiseptic, and by the way, it's usually that way by design so that they can please the masses, right? Just be careful. Make sure that you can change up anything that you want, so long as it comes out. But yes, you're thinking of a free video. Yes, in Canva, you can create video. That's what I use to create my video. It is free, but just know some of the photos that are in there, you cannot use unless you do the paid pro. I'm telling you, if you own a business, you ought to have, in your budget, enough in your marketing budget to pay for Canva every year, right? They say that 10% of your income for the first 3 years being in business needs to be in your budget. You need 10% of your revenue. That $119, if you're going to be the one creating social posts, ought to be earmarked for Canva every year. I implore you. See, I don't have the ability to, I found it to be amazing. Yes. So here's what, and people wonder, are you worried about AI? I'm not, because at some point, if you cannot accurately describe to an AI platform exactly what you want, it's not going to issue you what you need. And I know from experience, people often have enough trouble trying to tell me what they're trying to get because they can't get down to it. And Michelle, I think that's a lot of, they can't visualize it. So no, I am not worried that AI will put me out of business, because there is no way that people are going to be gleaning the information necessarily the way they need it or want it just from an AI platform. It's just not going to happen. I'm not worried about it. D, can you do a caricature with that free video service? You can, I don't know the caricature is right. You can actually create a character on there. It's a little more laborious, but you can. Absolutely.
All right, everybody, any more questions? All right, I don't see anything coming in.
All right, perfect. Well, you guys, if you are interested, in April, we have our next workshop on social media, and it is using the F word can help you find customers. And it's all about Facebook and how to use that platform to benefit your business. That is again on Thursday, April 18th, same time, 9 a.m. And hopefully we will see you here.
All right, everybody, thank you. I am going to be sending out the presentation and a link for the video if you want to rewatch this to review all the information. And thank you for joining us. I am going to be on the next workshop in about 25 minutes, which is for nonprofit basics. If any of you plan on joining over there, I will see you soon. If not, thanks everybody.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.